if you've been injured in an automobile collision, then you may have questions about how automobile insurance, your own, and the other drivers, how it works. My name is Hester. I'm a personal injury attorney in Fort Collins, Colorado, and in this video I'm going to discuss how automobile insurance coverage applies and how claims are handled. Now, if you operate a vehicle on the public roads of Colorado, you're required to have that automobile insured, and the minimum coverage in Colorado for liability is $25,000. All drivers have to have it. So on this board I'm going to put you, which I will call the client, and the at-fault driver, which I will call the defendant. Now, as I said, liability coverage is required, so assuming you have it, will be at least $25,000 per person injured in a crash, $50,000 for everyone injured in a crash, and $15,000 for property damage. And so, in this example, I'm assuming the defendant also has liability coverage. And let's assume the minimum coverage, 25, 50, and 15. That means if you've been injured in this collision and it's the defendant's fault and you have damages of $25,000 or less, then the defendant has enough insurance coverage to pay all of your damages. For example, medical expenses past and future, loss of wages past and future, and incidental expenses. Now, as I said, liability coverage is required in Colorado, but there are also optional coverages. For example, property damage. That is, if you buy, for example, if you buy a new car, and it's financed, the financing company or bank requires that you have property damage, collision coverage or comprehensive coverage to pay if the vehicle is damaged. Now, if the defendant's at fault, the defendant will almost always pay for your property damage. And that's going to be limited to the amount of their coverage, $15,000 on the property damage. So if the defendant is not agreeing to pay for it, or not all of it, and you have property coverage, you can choose to use your own property damage coverage to pay for your vehicle repair, and then your insurance company will then go against the defendant's insurance company to get reimbursed. There's also other optional coverages, for example, med-pay, medical payments coverage. Colorado used to have no-fault insurance, but that went away when the legislature did not renew it, and now what we have in its place is called medical payments coverage. Medical payments coverage pays for your medical expenses regardless of who's at fault. The typical amount that is offered is $5,000. You can purchase more than $5,000, up to whatever the insurance company has offered, but $5,000 has to be offered to you, and it's a good idea to purchase it. Another optional coverage is uninsured motorist coverage, which is also called, in short, UM, and underinsured motorist coverage, UIM. Now, when you buy UM or UIM, both coverages are in the same package, so you can't buy one without the other. You buy both of them at the same time. The purpose of UM, uninsured motorist coverage, is to protect you in case the defendant does not have liability coverage. So if the other driver, the at-fault driver, has no insurance, then you can make a claim against your own insurance company under your uninsured motorist coverage. For example, if you purchased $25,000 in underinsured motorist coverage, you would make a claim and you could recover up to $25,000 from your own insurance company. Now, if the defendant does have liability insurance coverage, and let's assume the minimum, $25,000, but let's say your damages are $50,000. And let's assume that you purchased $25,000 of underinsured motorist coverage. So what you potentially could recover, proving your damages are at least $50,000, you could recover the $25,000 from the defendant plus $25,000 from UIM, your own company, to recover all of your damages of $50,000. So, assuming your damages from the crash was $50,000, you potentially could recover everything, $25,000 from the defendant and $25,000 from your own insurance company. Now, there are a lot more issues in insurance coverage, and it would take a long time to go over them all, but I would be happy to answer any questions you have about insurance coverage, how it works, how your particular insurance coverage works, what applies and does not, and how much is covered. You can give me a call at 970-493-1866, or you can send me an email at mac@hesterlaw.com. That's MAC@HESTER-LAW.com. Thanks for watching the video.